morning, Swain Event crew. The new year is here and it's the 2022 East Tennessee real estate season. As I always do, I'm going to shoot straight with you. If you have a home to sell, then you need to give me a call ASAP. Inventory is low and I will get you the most money possible and more than you think trying to sell it on your own. If you are a seller that also needs to buy a home, you need to call me ASAP, as there are ways I can help you manage that situation and stay in your home until we find what you want. If you are looking to buy, you need to call me ASAP. You absolutely need someone on your side to help navigate the current waters, and you need someone that's going to do their homework and find homes that aren't on the market yet. Bottom line, you need to call me today ASAP. Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897. If you are buying, selling, or considering investing in real estate this year, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. I hope to hear from you soon, and go Vols!
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, T. Kell, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. T. Kell and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suit your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event with your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 house and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event and SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. 865-255-03 is our telephone number. Seth Stokes, Ben McKee, Jason Swain, right here on a Friday. It is 4 minutes past the top of the hour. It is January the 21st. Stokes, man. Ben, guys, good morning.
What's going on?
Good morning.
It's Knoxville, Stokes. It is Rocky Top, Stokes. There is never, and I mean never, a dull moment. There's always stuff to talk about. There's always things going on in the world of sports.
Always. It's never boring.
Guys, is it okay that we have a conversation today?
I think it's necessary.
I mean, we have talked, we have chit-chatted, but is it okay if we have a conversation today?
Let's have a conversation.
Let's do it. Listen, Tennessee basketball, they play tomorrow. They play LSU. That's going to be a big game. But we know what drives the conversations in Knoxville. We know what people care about. First and foremost, when it comes to Tennessee athletics, that is Tennessee football. We need to have a conversation. Let's have a healthy conversation. I should have reiterated that, or should have clarified that. Healthy conversation. Let's have a healthy conversation. Ben, are you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. You already know what we're talking about. We are talking about the decommitment of Isaiah Nayor and the commitment of Isaiah Nayor to Texas. Not only did he commit to Texas, but he signed to Texas. And Stokes, what is one of the best attributes of Tennessee and Tennessee fans? Give me your opinion of our best attribute, our superpower. If we were superheroes, what is our best attribute
As Tennessee fans?
Yeah, Tennessee fans. Yeah.
The passion, probably the fact that fans will stick with the team through thick and thin, and we may eat each other a little bit, but we protect the program. We protect our players. No one gets to talk crap about Tennessee except for Tennessee fans. That's it. The very loyal fan base, very passionate fan base. They travel well. They're going to let you know their opinion. They're going to let you. They're going to love on you hard, and they're going to hate on you hard. There's no gray area.
Yeah, I was in Nashville, man. In Nashville, the Music City Bowl. The Music City Bowl. I mean, it's a bowl that has been in existence for years and years and years. It's not one of these new pop-up bowls that is played in the Bahamas or New Mexico, something like that. It's a pretty established bowl, and they broke an attendance record. Why? Because Tennessee fans mainly. Yep. So there's no doubt that we have superpowers that work for us. No doubt about it at all. I think our greatest gift is our greatest curse. That same passion that we use in having an advantage, it's the same passion that we have that gets us in trouble. Now, I want to put that to the side. Let's talk about Isaiah Nayor. This young man hit the portal for Wyoming after having a great redshirt freshman year. He has the body type. He'll be a pro player. Really, really good. Ben, I remember the initial reports when he hit the portal about where he could go, where a lot of the recruiting experts expected him to look. Do you remember what some of those schools that was mentioned? Do you remember some of those schools that were mentioned?
Yeah, just simply the Texas schools.
Texas schools. That would be Texas, Texas A&M, Baylor. Why is that?
Because he's from Texas.
Because he's from Texas. He's from Arlington, Texas, which is Dallas, Texas. Tennessee threw their shot. Tennessee contacted him. Tennessee reached out. Tennessee shot their shot. And Tennessee got the commitment of Isaiah Nayor. Stokes, Ben, give me your reaction, your initial reaction when you saw that Isaiah Nayor had committed before taking a visit.
Surprised. For one, didn't really know who he was, so I had to do a little digging. Found out very, very, very capable, talented receiver. Very happy that he had committed. Surprised he committed without coming on a visit, but I was just gonna roll with it. Whatever. Sometimes good things happen.
Stokes, do you remember the last player to come on a visit? Excuse me, to commit and sign without coming on a visit? Do you remember the last person?
There may have been another one, but, since this one, but the one that pops into my mind is, didn't Bryce Brown do that?
Oh, you win a brand new car, Stokes.
Christian Charles committed and signed without visiting.
Hey, good for Christian Charles, man. He is a VFL. He deserves to play more. That's a good one right there.
Yep.
No one talked about that one a lot. But the Bryce Brown one, the Bryce Brown one, it made people kind of snatch their head around. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Did he take a visit? Wait, hold on now. So he wants to play his 4 years at Tennessee without ever coming on a visit. Oh, that's peculiar. Okay. Ben, what was your reaction when Isaiah Nayor?
Same as Stokes. Very surprised.
Dude.
Not necessarily that he picked Tennessee, but that he just made the decision when he did, without taking many visits.
I was surprised too. I think most people were surprised. I think we all were surprised. Because that's abnormal. We don't usually see that. Now, we saw Jamal Mashak do that in basketball, but I mean, he's in California in the middle of COVID. You kind of understand that a little bit. But COVID is different now than it was, a year ago. He was going to take visits. That was something that he said initially. He was going to take visits. So, I asked y'all that to say this. Our biggest strength as a fan base is our passion. It's also one of our biggest weaknesses. There's this narrative right now that we're not doing anything with NIL. There's this narrative that's been created, and it's been disseminated way more than it should because people actually think it's the truth. You got other radio shows that are pumping this out, and they think it's the truth. But if they knew more, if they had the inside information like many of us claim that we do, they would not be doing this if they knew what was going on. But they don't. I'm telling you, today, I'm going to lay it out for you. I'm not going to do it on Twitter. I'm not going to get on there and try to explain everything in 280 characters so someone can take it out of context and mess up the whole thing. I'm not going to do it. We're going to talk about it in detail. We're going to lay it out this morning. And if you listen and you continue to share inaccurate information, then that's on you. If you want to get yourself upset and mad and riled up, and then that's on you. You just want to be mad. like you're just choosing violence. You're just choosing to be mad. Because you're letting you're believing folks that just don't know what they're talking about. And at some point, I think we gotta look in the mirror and go, are we really helping the situation with the panic, freak out, skies falling every time something happens? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, there's some stuff down the road that might happen. It's gonna make you probably freak out more than this. And this is not even worth freaking out about. So Isaiah Nayor initially said that he wanted to stay close to home. He said he wanted to stay close to home. Last time I checked, if a kid says he wants to do something, that is a high priority for him. He gets on the phone with Tennessee. He's talking to coaches. He's talking to people around Tennessee. Without a visit, this young man commits to Tennessee. Now, what does that tell you? Let's just use our brains here a little bit, guys. Like, what does that tell you? Young man said he wants to stay home. He committed before taking a visit, and he committed to a school that's 12 and a half hours away. What do you think made him want to commit to Tennessee?
Tennessee was very convincing. Very convincing.
Was it the mountains, the Smoky Mountains?
That's all it was,
It
man.
had to be.
The Smoky Mountains and some dead end barbecue. That's all it took.
It had to be. No, sillies. It was the NIL. It was the NIL. That was so great. The setup was so great for him. This is why he committed without a visit. You pulled a player that's from Texas who said all along he wanted to be close to home. You pulled him, he committed, and then in the interview, after the commitment, he tried to list other reasons, like the offense. he talked to the receiver coach. He did research on the fan base. Come on, man. Did research on the fan base, really? The NIL deal was good, guys. And it's okay to say it because it's legal. Like, you can do NILs. Like, the NIL deal was good. So if the NIL deal is so bad and we're not doing anything, how in the hell do you get a kid to commit without taking a visit?
He wanted to be the next Cedric Tillman, Swain.
Oh, yeah, that's right. he looked at the highlights.
It was a great fit in the offense.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's it. That was the number one reason, right? He watched the Music City Bowl. He did research on the Music City Bowl.
That's right.
He's bad at those refs. Oh, man. If you just stop and think about it, it's like, whoa, dude committed without taking a visit. The NIL deal had nothing to do with Isaiah Nayor picking Texas. Nothing. Texas didn't come with a bigger offer or crush Tennessee or from the get-go, he wanted to be at home. Texas came into the picture, which was the fear the entire time. No one was really afraid of Ole Miss because Ole Miss couldn't do what Tennessee could do. Ole Miss doesn't have Aspire Sports Group. Ole Miss doesn't have the boosters like Tennessee. And then there's this narrative that, like,
and it's in Oxford, Mississippi.
It's in Oxford, Mississippi. Stokes, when's the last time you've been to Oxford, man?
Never.
When's the next time you going?
Never.
Ben, when's the last time you've been to Oxford? You know, you like traveling to the SEC schools. You been to Oxford before?
Yes, I went to the 2014 Tennessee Ole Miss game.
Did you go to the Botanical Gardens?
In Huntsville, yes.
In Oxford?
No.
Where'd you go, man? Besides,
I was afraid that I may see a cape there if I go to that Botanical Gardens.
He ain't got nothing to worry about. They might try to recruit you. I mean, like, we had nothing to worry about with him taking a visit to Ole Miss. Now, Texas is a different ballgame. And yesterday I said Texas ought to be ashamed of themselves, and I would question their ability to recruit in the SEC if they didn't get Isaiah Nayor. And I had no clue that he was about to pick Texas. I really didn't. I had no idea. I was making a general statement about when you have a player from your state and you really want him, you can make it happen. I.e., Trey Smith. Trey Smith had no business being the number one player in the country when he grew up liking Alabama. It's Bama, Ohio State, Tennessee. He had no business picking Tennessee, guys. No one player in the country don't pick Tennessee out of those three. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just like when Cade entered the transfer portal a couple of years ago. If NIL was a thing then and Tennessee was unable to bring Cade to Knoxville when he was in the portal, what would that say about Tennessee from a recruiting standpoint is the point that you were making. Like if Tennessee can't get Cade, who is from Knoxville, NIL is a real thing now. What does that say about Tennessee and how they are going to recruit long term? Probably a bad indictment.
There's this narrative, man, that like, and I'm one of them. I'm one of them. So like, I don't want to make it seem like we over here big balling, but like I see more comments from non-millionaires telling millionaires what they should be doing with their money.
Right.
Bro, I'm sitting here like, are you kidding me? We got non-millionaires. I'm one of those. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. We got folks over here trying to tell millionaires, Tennessee boosters, what to do with their money. And they don't even know that those boosters and donors are helping. Guys, and I'm going to say this real slow. We have prominent former players. I'll say the first word again. Prominent former players here at Tennessee involved in helping with NIL. I'll let you guys put two and two together. NIL is not going to be a problem. What is a problem is you don't have spots like that. Like the NIL plus the transfer portal, it's a cesspool. It really is. To lay out both at the same time for the first time, guys, it's rough. You have the unregulated NIL with the new transfer portal, and there's over 1,000 kids in the portal. And it don't matter if you are on a championship team or not. We've seen multiple players from Georgia get in there. We've seen multiple players from Alabama getting there. We've seen players on sorry teams. We've seen players on good teams. We've seen players on average teams. Players are going into the portal. And here's what you're seeing that's really going to make your stomach hurt. You got players getting into the portal just to see how much money they can get in NIL money from other schools.
That's the part that's disgusting to me. And not disgusting, I don't think that's the right word, but I think that's something that needs to be, I don't know, handled in some way. Like, either have all out free agency or regulate it somehow.
Here's the crazy thing, Stokes Ben. You are a young man. You have this 4 or 5 year window where you can hop into the portal after having a good year, just like Isaiah Nayor or whoever. And it's really the only time in life that you can have multiple teams call you and offer you great NIL deals. Because once your eligibility is over, you ain't getting them phone calls anymore. This is the only time you have this type of leverage. So although we may not like it, we understand. And I'll tell you right now, I won't speak for you two, but I would probably do the same thing. If I'm at a school, I know I have plenty of value. I've made some plays. You throw your name in the portal, then you see who all throws out the offers. I take that back. I probably wouldn't do that because I probably wouldn't need to jump into the portal because I would have taken care of my business on and off the football field to where I would have gotten my bag and not had to get into the portal to try to get other suitors. I probably wouldn't do that, to be honest. But that's also what's going on too. Keep your eyes open. Keep your head on the swivel. It's easy to see. But like this meltdown outrage, it ain't worth it with Isaiah Nayor. Mm-mm. And it's misguided and it's based on bad info.
Yeah,
guys,
based on falsehoods.
Yeah, like, guys, the young man wanted to be closer to home. His family wanted to be able to come to the games. He's an hour away from home at Texas. He's an hour away. We had 2 receivers catch 70 balls. That's way more attractive than what Texas had going on last year. We understand that. But not everyone makes the decisions for what we think are the most important. That man's family can travel an hour. It is 12 and a half hours from Arlington, Texas to Knoxville. He committed without taking a visit, guys. Like, you had a kid from Texas that grew up in Texas, and I've shared this with many people many times on this program about how it goes in Texas. You grew up, it is Longhorn or Aggies most of the time. It's hard to pull kids from Texas. It's hard. And that kid wanted to be home.
And it would be doubly hard for a kid like that because he left Texas for a year and then said, I want to be closer to home.
He wants to be close to home.
Exactly.
Simply put, Tennessee did not lose out on Isaiah Nayor because of NIL opportunities.
Pretty simple, man. I like simple.
Yep.
That was simple. It was not NIL. Isaiah Nayor had a great deal.
Yes.
In place.
You had Texas recruiting reporters, the Austin Prices of the Texas Longhorns, saying that Tennessee was outbidding everybody else. Tennessee did not lose out on Isaiah Nayor because of NIL. That's not why he's not going to be involved. He's not going to be involved because he wants to be close to home.
This is what some people want. They want details on how much money we got in the NIL. They want details on what players are getting. Like, guys, this is what the great LeVar Ball said. Stay in your lane. Like, sometimes you ain't got to be so damn nosy. Don't have to know the details. It's best that the details are not out publicly. Do we realize we still dealing with the NCAA? Did folks forget about that?
Yes.
And I know how you feel about the NCAA. It's how I feel about the NCAA. There's rules about parking in the parking lot that I don't like, but I obey them. When I go to the grocery store, I would rather park right at the front door. That nice yellow paint on the sidewalk. I like parking right there. Why can't I park right there? Why not? Because you ain't supposed to. You're supposed to park in a spot without the handicap. I feel like if no one's using a handicap, I should be able to use it. It's going to waste. But you can't do that either. Don't like the NCAA, but you have to oblige right now. In Tennessee, Jeremy Pruitt, the man got caught red-handed, guys. Red-handed. Like there's no, well, no, you ain't see me. No, you don't know that. There's no like trying to lie yourself out of it. When you caught red-handed, you caught red-handed. When mama's baking cookies and there's a dozen and she come back home and there's 8 and she says, where's the cookies? And no one has been at the house except for you and you got crumbs on your mouth. You can't say you didn't do it.
Well, my mom just knows that it was me.
Yeah, of course, right? It's like the devil eggs. The devil eggs you be sneaking, right?
Uh-huh.
Thanksgiving.
Yep.
You can't even keep devil eggs around Ben.
Nope.
So, like, we don't like the NCAA, but here's the truth. Pruitt got caught with cooked crumbs over his mouth, on his mouth. It's the reason why everybody got fired. It's the reason why everybody got fired. Tennessee told the NCAA by their actions, hey, this is what we gonna do. We know that times are changing. This is what we gonna do. We ain't doing the bowl, man. We ain't doing that. We're not penalizing our own players who did not have anything to do with it. We playing in this bowl game. Now, the result is the result. But we played in the bowl game. So this narrative that, oh, man, Tennessee is cowering to the NCAA, yo, we played in the bowl game. But the fact is, you got caught red-handed, so you got to do something other than just fire everybody. The something is doing a little reduction of scholarships. The something is limiting a little bit of your eval time on the road. Nothing major, nothing that you can't overcome. But Tennessee already played a season operating in the 70s with the scholarships. And as soon as the spring is over, Tennessee will be able to get back into the hunt and add players to this roster. But right now, we can't do that because we're serving our last little bit of time. We're like in a halfway house. Everybody got family that's done some time, right?
It feels like we're on house arrest.
And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just my family. But everybody got somebody that does the little time. So the last little bit of time, you serve it in a halfway house. Well, that's where we are right now, man. We in a halfway house. This is the last stretch. Got a couple more months. And then you will have satisfied what you told the NCAA that you were going to do. That's a baller move. You get caught doing something you weren't supposed to do, and then you tell the people who are penalizing you what you going to do to yourself, and that's it. That's pretty good, man. I wish I was able to do that growing up. When I got in trouble in middle school, I said, hey, man, you know what? I'm going to give myself about 5 minutes in timeout, and I'm still going to go to PE and recess and have a good time. I'm not going to suspend myself, nor am I going to paddle myself. That's what Tennessee did. So you can't take 5, 6, 7 dudes from the portal like you see South Carolina or some of these other schools because we're not in that position. Don't let FOMO get to you, the fear of missing out. We ain't missing out. Tennessee in Heupel's first season, what did they do after spring in the transfer portal, Ben? Stokes? What did they go do? They went to go get some players to help them this year.
They added transfers.
They added transfers. So they already proved that they can do that. But narratives get created. The sky's falling. The asteroid is coming because things are made up. Sometimes you don't need this stuff written on the wall for us to know every single move of the plan that Tennessee football is trying to execute. Because you know why? You have opponents. You have teams you're recruiting against. And you don't want them to know what you're doing.
No, Swain. Josh Heupel should sit there in a press conference and lay out his plan step by step.
And
allow us to verbally grade him on how he's doing.
I'm over here tippy-toeing, y'all. Y'all remember the movie? I think it was Bad Boys 2, and they hit the island it was the beach. It was the beach. That was the movie where Gabrielle Union was in, and because she was Martin Lawrence's sister, and Will Smith was getting jiggy with it. And remember they get on the beach, and there's like landmines when they get to Mexico. I think that's what it was. Or was it Cuba? It was Cuba. And they were trying to be careful not to step on landmines. Guys, I'm over here like tippy-toeing, trying to give you some information without being too detailed. I really am. Isaiah Nayor did not pick Texas because our NIL game is terrible. Man, I wish I was coming out right now and gotten that deal Isaiah Nayor was about to get. Woo! I retire. I'm good. I don't want to play football anymore. All right, let's go to the phones.
We've got Justin in Florida.
Justin in Florida, good morning.
Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Man, good. How are you?
I'm doing real well. I think this particular show needs to be a prerequisite for all Tennessee fans. They have to listen to it just to get the information you guys are covering today, because I think it's very important. I think it would help with a little bit of the hysteria on social media as to what's going on. If you guys would just indulge me for a second, here. There's some things that I think people are kind of overlooking. Swain, you mentioned it. Our NIL game is very strong. Now, is that to say we're going to be the number one program in NIL?
Nope.
Will we be top 7, top 8? Yeah, I think so. Would you agree?
Yep. Not beating our oil money.
Nope. And unfortunately, that's just a sad reality. Now, what makes it tough is that this is the SEC. If we're in the top 7 or 8, you're probably going to have maybe 4, 5 other teams from the SEC that are spending the same amount as you or even more than you. It's life in, the big city, as they say. So I think everyone just needs to wrap their head around. I mean, this is a financial arms race. Tennessee is doing their part. From what I understand, Spire has been great so far. They've got a vision. You had the guy on your show. He covered some of that. I think it's really important to also note this group has done a very good job of getting to some of the big donors. And, getting donors to just hand over money, like big money, without them having a say in where it's going is very hard. And that's been a problem, I think, for Tennessee in the past. Oh, you're going to cash my multi-million-dollar check? Well, here's what I want you to do with it. Right now, because of what they've seen on the football field, what they've seen out of this administration, they're saying, hey, we're willing to stick our money in a pool, and it can be used how it best suits the program. Number one, I think that's very strong. Number two, okay, as far as making stuff public, I don't think what.
I'm just laughing.
Why you laugh? As far as making deals public, that's a tricky thing, because in any negotiation, as soon as you make it public, your competitors now know what they got to come in and beat. Mm-hmm. Why would you want that info out there? I don't understand why so many people are going crazy right now going, well, we need to know the details. No, you don't. Nope. No, nobody needs to know the details. You are only, and what's worse is, and you brought it up with players hitting the portal, you might be bidding against yourself.
Yeah.
Do you realize the second you make public that some kid on the team is getting this, you don't think you're going to have 15 other kids in the office going, well, I'm just as good as him. I need the same deal.
Bingo.
That's insanity to me. And yeah, these guys talk. These guys are probably going to know. But the second you make it public, I just think you're inviting competition. You're inviting players on your own team to try and get more. Next thing I got to cover, and this is something everyone's got to understand this. Please, 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 please hear this. Actually, Ben, I'll ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
When does the clock start for a player for the football team? Meaning, what time of year does the new year start?
For a current football player?
Yeah, so a football player.
As
When's
soon
the
as
new year?
As soon as the spring semester ends?
Correct. So right now, if we were to bring in guys, when are they going to count? Next year or this year? This past year?
This year. Yep.
Correct.
Over
They're
the
going to count. Right. You're over the limit. Got a question for you guys. How many players did Bama lose?
A lot.
I think the last number I saw was 9.
Yeah.
Georgia lost 8.
Yep.
Have they taken in 8 or 9 right now?
Nope. They
Why?
neither one has not brought in as many as they have lost.
I think that's the explanation as to why there's so many guys in the portal. Personally, if I was a kid, I think you're absolute idiot for hitting the portal right now, because and Swain, you might know the answer to this better than I do. Once you hit the portal, can't the school rescind your scholarship?
Those benefits you are getting or were getting, based on your scholarship, they can be cut off once you hit the portal.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So most likely you're also not going to be working out with the team. So you hit the portal and you don't have an immediate landing spot to go. Am I correct in assuming that you're probably not like practicing and playing spring ball?
Yes. Unless it's a situation where the coach at the school you're transferring from wants to try to talk you out of leaving and talks you into practicing with the team. Like Quavaris Crouch was on the verge, and Henry T was on the verge of practicing with the team last spring, and then they officially decided to move on to their next venture. But they were on the verge of practicing last spring despite being in the portal.
And they're different because they are actually really good.
Yes.
I mean,
right.
The Caleb Williams of the world, they're going to be okay.
That's somebody that the coaches would want to stick around and work out with the team and practice with the team in hopes of talking them out of leaving.
Okay. So if I understand that correctly, the guys that are in the portal right now, there's a good chance that they may not be working. I think kids are crazy for entering the portal now. I think the safest thing for them to do would be stay with their current team, go through the spring, at least you're working out, at least you're popping pads, at least you're lifting with the team, catching balls, doing agility drills, and then maybe around May you might see kids hit the portal. If I was a kid, that's what I would do. Because if not, you've got to work out on your own. You've got to, find ways to stay in football shape through the spring and then make the move. Everyone keeps talking there's 1,000 kids in the portal. I think the reason that 1,000 kids haven't found new homes isn't because, there aren't options. It's because there's not 1,000 spots that teams are able to take players in. So most of the Tennessee was in a unique position this past year because they didn't have a lot of they didn't have the full 85. They had because of guys transferring out and everything. They actually played with a lower number. I don't even know what that number is.
You mean Tennessee?
Yeah, Tennessee.
Low 70s.
Okay, so low 70s.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if they practiced with low 70s, doesn't it kind of go in line with, maybe it'd be smart if Tennessee, if they were to self-impose something, is just be patient, ride out the spring with what you got, and say, yep, hey, we took our lumps, and now you're starting the slate clean in June. I think that'd be pretty smart.
Yep.
And it probably would line up with some of the facts that you just mentioned, Swain, and that's what made me think about it. So if, fans got to realize how the rules work. That's the biggest thing. We take in guys right now, all we're doing is saying later, well, we've got to take a reduction. So 2 guys were to come in now, because I think we had, 58 returning, 13 enrolled early. That's 71. Got Mincy, who's a transfer. That's 72. So, Nayor, I guess, would have been 73. But regardless of whatever the number is,
it's close.
I think. Okay. Well, and like I said, I'm just kind of ballparking things here with what you've said. People have to realize there is a plan here. It may not be a popular plan. Here's another question. I need you guys to answer me. Is there some sort of trophy that's awarded for winning the off season that I'm unaware about?
No, I'm unaware. I'm unaware too, Justin, man. And hey, thank you. You can tell Justin did his homework before joining the show. We're calling into the show this morning, Stokes. That's what I say. That's what I call calling prepared, Stokes.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That was a great call. Other callers, other listeners to the show, I hope you were taking notes, because that was a great call. Man knew his stuff. He had his talking points. He called in. He eloquently explained what he wanted to talk about, explained his position, of which I think we all agree with him. Spectacular phone call.
Yeah, he was close to those numbers, man. It just Tennessee already operated below the 85 scholarship limit. So you already went through the worst part of this if you are Josh Heupel and company, which was to come in your first year and operate in the low 70s on the football field, having to play walk-ons on the offensive line in SEC play. You've already gotten through it. The season is over. So now you got a few more weeks. You're
through the worst part, but Jeremy Pruitt still has his footprint on this football program, unfortunately.
Correct.
Like his actions are still impacting Josh Heupel. You're through the worst of it, but you're not completely through the woods and through the other side.
I agree 100%. 100%.
Freaking Pruitt.
100%. But I mean, what do people expect? Like when you do what Pruitt did, there's going to be some type of after effects. Like you're going to feel it. Now, I think the way that Tennessee has handled this has been great. You don't just ignore folks and put your head in the sand and say, no, you don't do what Memphis did with James Wiseman last year.
Memphis.
Oh, we getting to Memphis later. Yeah, we getting to Memphis later. Like you just don't do that. What LSU did, like they had a pile of steaming mess down there, and they handled their stuff quietly. Guys, they had a huge Title IX thing going on, and impermissible benefits thing going on, and all they did was go win a championship in 19. It was run. They just quietly pushed him out because he was in the middle of it. They just quietly pushed him out and went and hired Brian Kelly. Like they didn't. It wasn't a big thing on the SEC message boards. It wasn't a big thing on ESPN.
They kept it within the family.
They did. They did. Now, I don't know about radio down there. My boy Matt Moscona is down there, so I don't know if they were talking about this in detail and knew all the specifics and were talking about it on the radio.
They're SEC football fans. I'm sure there was a similar level of freak out.
But I'm wondering about the specifics that were mentioned on the radio in public. And folks are not getting that here. And so they're assuming the worst because the worst happened over and over and over before the new administration got here. So a part of it, like I understand. Like I'm not sitting here trying to talk down on folks like, why are you feeling the way you feel? Like I understand when something bad can go happen, it happens to Tennessee. I get that feeling. But we can't melt down at every damn turn.
But it's fun.
It's not fun.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting, and all you're doing is making the national media narrative true. Like every time there's this, like I saw some people crapping on Danny White. What did Danny White do?
He exists.
All Danny White has done is say, "Hey, Spire, man, do your thing," because I'm doing this, making sure that we're not hurting our current kids. We went to a ball game, got the plan. We done with the whole scholarship production thing. Tennessee can't facilitate NIL. We're still in the woods. We're still in the halfway house. Spire, here's my blessings. And Spire is y'all. I don't think what Spire is doing right now is what you would expect from like a administration. The amount of boosters that they have been able to talk to, young, old, ones that used to butt heads with each other, they still do. But they're on board with the NIL. Guys, Spire is going and talking to the biggest boosters in Memphis, the biggest boosters in Nashville, the biggest boosters in Chattanooga, the biggest boosters in Charlotte and Atlanta. While some of us over here
Complaining about them
Complaining
and putting them down.
Complaining about it. And they ain't did nothing. They're regular fans just like us. Spire, they're regular fans like us. And they saw this thing. They saw this thing a year ago. I met with them this summer before the NIL stuff went live July 1. And we said, guys, it has to be fans like us. Because Tennessee can't facilitate NIL deals. It has to be fans like us. We have the experience because of our time working in the sports agency world and marketing world. This is how we're going to structure it. Go to spiresports.com. Go to it. Go see it. And watch what they come out with. Watch what they come out with. And when they come out with it, I hope you are willing to participate. I hope you are, because it's going to include everybody. What Spire has coming up is going to take Tennessee's best asset, our best asset, which is our passion and our strength in numbers. And it's going to make Tennessee one of the top schools in the NIL game. Wrap this around your head. You're not outbidding Texas A&M. It ain't happening. Let me just share this. I'm glad Justin brought that up. Let me just share this right quick. Y'all mind if I share this?
I do mind.
Awesome. That makes me want to do it anyways. Check out this quote. You're going to have a lot of haves and have-nots. The separation that is already going to grow larger. The schools that have the capacity and the ability and are more competitive in a NIL market are going to be schools that step ahead of other top schools. So I don't want recruiting decisions to be based on that. But ultimately, a lot of men want to make their decision based on that. That was said by a college coach. You get one guess apiece. What college coach do y'all think said that, Ben?
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban. All right, what's your guess?
Same.
Close. Kirby Smart. Now, why in the hell would Nick Saban and Kirby Smart be worried about this when they are the ones at the top of the recruiting game right now?
Because other teams can catch up.
Because Texas A&M did what they did in recruiting, Ben. You absolutely damn right.
Done.
Now, that quote was from Kirby Smart. This quote is from Nick Saban. He said that the NIL rules were a positive thing for players. I don't think that was the intention as far as, hold on, let me rewind it. Nick Saban said the NIL rules were positive things for players and that their ability to earn money wasn't a bad thing, but is concerned about how the NIL rules are being used to lure players to schools. He says, I don't think that was the intention. I don't think that would be the NCAA's intention. I think we probably need some type of national legislation to sort of control that to some degree. But I think there will be an imbalance relative to who can dominate college football if it's not regulated in some form or fashion. I ought to get up and leave. I ought to go in the living room and play with my dog. We should be done for today.
We've got to talk about Penny.
You got Nick Saban and Kirby Smart over here acting like they're not already at the top of the recruiting game. They sitting there acting like they damn Shane Beamer or somebody or Clark Lee.
That was a woe is me quote from both of them.
Man, Eli Drinkwitz or something. Like, guys, y'all already at the top of the recruiting game. And they're nervous and they're threatened. Why? Because they know A&M got more money than them.
Well, it's not just A&M. It's the simple fact that there can be multiple A&Ms.
Correct.
Like A&M is a thorn in their side, but now there can be multiple A&Ms. If Auburn gets its stuff together, if LSU is more than capable of pulling off an A&M. Tennessee is capable of really threatening them on the recruiting trail. I'm not going to say be an A&M, but they can be close to it. Tennessee has enough reach and resources and boosters to where they can make an impact. There can be several A&Ms. That's why That's why your boy Kirby's nervous, Seth.
He ain't my boy.
But I mean,
be nervous, Kirby. Be nervous.
If you got an advantage, why would you complain about the advantage that you have if you have the advantage? Well, you complain because in this instance,
you wanted to go back to the old way.
Yeah.
Where you were the only one with the advantage.
You want to go back to the way where it's illegal.
Yes.
To give players money because you have mastered how to do it and not get caught. Now you can do it, it's legal, and they know that everybody can, and their domination won't be as strong recruiting wise. Listen, they'll still recruit at a high level, but it'll be harder for them. So, Stokes, Fridays are days where, like, man, we chop it up, we go back and forth. And I hate that, like, today you had to spend the day listening to me because it was very important to lay down the truth about what we're doing in NIL and Isaiah Nayor's recruitment. It was very, very important, man. It was very important. So I apologize for basically putting you on hold like you calling in.
Yeah, you better apologize to Seth. I think you should Venmo him money for lunch.
Shut up with your Titans hat. Where's your Steelers hat?
At home. I wore it earlier this
Why
week.
you wearing Titans hat today?
Because I want the Titans to beat down the Bengals tomorrow.
Whatever, man.
It is all good. I am always here for the truth, and that is a message that everybody needed to hear. So you know me, the truth is always going to be the most important over amount of time I get to talk on the show. It is all good.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. It's just there's a time and place, man, to be like super upset and to be over the top. And I ain't gonna lie, bowl game, I was not happy. I was not happy with the coaching. I was not happy with the execution from the players. I was not happy with the officiating. I was not happy. I thought all three of those could have been better. And I was truthful. That was a football game. This is a recruit who flipped to go to a school an hour away from his home. Now, there's other details about why Isaiah Nayor wanted to be home, but that's not how I get down. I'm not putting his business on the street.
Not meant for the public.
It ain't meant for the public. But there's a legitimate reason of why he wanted to be home. And I understand that and respect that.
And it had nothing to do with Tennessee.
Nothing to do with Tennessee or the NIL. Nothing.
Austin Price has talked about unwinnable recruits, Seth, and Isaiah Nayor was an unwinnable recruit in some form and fashion.
Mm-hmm.
It is why.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get everybody. Like, that's just, you're not going to get everybody, and you're not going to keep all the ones that you think you got, especially in this kind of free agency era or open free agency era of college football. It's just not going to happen. And it's not always going to be Tennessee's fault. Like, it's probably rarely going to be Tennessee's fault. Like, sometimes what's important to a player is something that Tennessee can't do anything about.
Facts. Now you ask yourself, okay, you have that spot back. What are you going to do with that spot? Are you going to go back and get a receiver? Do you have a backup for Isaiah Nayor? The answer is yes. And in hour number 2, we'll talk about who is the replacement for Isaiah Nayor. Who are you looking at now if you are Tennessee and you want to fill that receiver spot opposite Cedric Tillman? We'll talk about that because Tennessee is already on that too. They were working on that before Isaiah Nayor officially flipped to Texas because they knew the moment that Texas was going to get involved, it was going to be difficult. So they already started working on backup plans. What are those backup plans? We'll talk about that in hour number 2. Is that okay?
I guess so.
I just want to get permission, man.
Your world. I'm just living in it.
I'm not going to be like Derek Mason and say that we don't need your permission. I'm getting your permission. Speaking of Derek Mason, man, he don't want anything to do with Brian Harsin, huh?
Not a dang thing.
He don't want nothing to do. This man said, I would leave the SEC and go to Oklahoma State so I don't have to coach with Brian Harsin.
Yeah, that's a little fishy. Stokes, before we get you out of here, anything you want to get off your chest? Any thoughts on the playoffs this weekend? Any thoughts on Penny? Anything you want to get off your chest?
Penny, a word I can't say on the radio right now. That man is soft.
Yes.
Soft.
He said he wanted to smoke, though. Got that smoke
Obviously,
start cussing folks out.
Obviously, he doesn't want to smoke. He's not a member of the Street Profits. He doesn't really want to smoke.
Swain doesn't know about the Street Profits, Stokes.
Penny wants to sit there and have people bow down to him for mediocrity, and it's not going to happen. You talk too much trash for people to just overlook how bad you are as a coach, and they're going to call you out on it, and they're calling you out on it. Better get used to it.
Oh, we got details. We got details coming up to start hour number 2, man. Hour number 1 was brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Stokes, man, much love.
Much love, brothers. Y'all have a great weekend and be safe out there.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. I will say the same thing to Stokes, but he's in South Carolina. It's probably going to be like 50 degrees and something out there. It's going to be beautiful.
Does it get beautiful in South Carolina?
I mean, it does. We have some nice beaches. I won't trash on them like we do Alabama with Orange Beach, but South Carolina does have some nice beaches.
But it, like, of the Carolinas, they don't even have the better beaches.
I mean, all the beaches are the same to me, but I'm probably the wrong person to be talking beaches with. They all the same. You got water, you got sand. What's the difference?
There are clean beaches.
Oh, well, Alabama got dirty beaches then. Last time I was in South Carolina, the beach was pretty clean. Now, the people walking around the beach, that might be a different story. 865-255-03. Hour 2 coming up.
In this day and age, the way we work is changing and evolving. Businesses still moving forward despite your work location changing and supply shortages affecting a number of different areas. Office furniture is not immune to the halt in the supply chain. This is why Office Furniture Outfitters has purchased desks, chairs, and tables in bulk to provide you with in-stock options for your place of business, no matter if it's in an office building or at your house. Office Furniture Outfitters is the local supplier for Herman Miller, and they keep Aeron chairs in stock. They will come to your office, lay out, and make recommendations. No project is too big or too small. You can visit them on location at 17th Street and Grand Avenue in the Fort Sanders area, or online at ofonox.com, or give them a call at 865-524-3003. Office Furniture Outfitters, providing East Tennessee's biggest selection and best value for office furniture since 1995.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
Hey there, Swain Event fam. I've been thinking about other ways I can assist you with the real estate world. As you know, it's not just about buying, selling, and investing in new property today. It's also being a resource when you need a contractor or roofer, or maybe you need a real estate attorney to assist with probate questions, or maybe you have a family member in Alabama that needs a realtor to help them sell their home and get the heck out of there and back to Tennessee. All of these things and more are in my wheelhouse. So give me a call, Jennifer Morris, 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
One of my favorite players growing up, except when they were playing the Bulls, was Penny Hardaway. Really was. Commercial, the point guard play, the off the ball play. You know, growing up as a guard myself, and you looked up to guys like Ray Allen and Penny Hardaway, and man, all that stuff has gone down the tube. Now, him being a basketball coach, especially the basketball coach at Memphis, and the things that he has said, the things that he has done, has really turned me off.
Everybody,
a lot of people off. That whole special lure of being a NBA star, man, that stuff, that shine has worn off. And for today's touchdown turnover, I want to ask you, Ben, will Penny Hardaway make it? Will he make it? Here's an audio of Penny in the post-game press conference. And after we play this audio, I want to ask you a question about Penny Hardaway's future at Memphis, and then we'll answer it and move forward. But this is Penny Hardaway. After taking an L
to SMU, 70-62, and now they're 9-8 on the season. 9-8. They had Swain. There was 7 minutes left in the first half, and they had 9 points. So this is and with another loss, Penny was getting some questions he was not a fan of, and the video is from
Cassie Carlson. Cassie Carlson TV. She covers Memphis sports for WMCA News. I think that's WMC Action News 5. So
WMAC.
That's what it is?
I don't know.
That's what we call it?
That's what I'm calling it.
Well, that'd be tough because the C is in front of the A.
Oh, is it?
But we'll call it WMAC. She covers Memphis sports, and it's from her Twitter account, so we want to make sure that we source our video properly. I think you learned that in journalism school.
I think I did in one of those classes, but here's Penny.
That's weird. I can't hear it.
I hear it.
Can everybody else hear it? I know our video folks may not be able to hear it. Our app people should be able to hear it just fine. Makes no sense at all.
You want to try to play it on your computer?
Yeah. Let me pull it up on mine, so that way see if everybody can hear it.
Because people need to hear this. This is one of the all-time college basketball rants.
Oh, it's great. It is great, man. It is. I ain't gonna lie. I was surprised. I was very surprised. All right, let's see if we can get everybody hearing this one. No, not everybody hear it. Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
Yeah, I'm not able to hear it.
That is that is interesting. But for those who could not hear it, Penny was asked if he still believes if he can turn it around, and he said that we don't have our full roster. Stop asking me stupid, blanking questions, and that the media has him blanked up sometimes, and that he's tired of being disrespected. And he mentioned that 4 freshmen starting and playing against an experienced team in SMU.
Effing. Stop asking me stupid effing questions. Wow.
Penny.
Remember some of those Memphis media that was throwing shade at Rick Barnes and trying to, take up for Penny Hardaway when he was blatantly lying about what happened with Tennessee in 2018-19, matchup. Remember all those media members that was taking up for Penny? Man, those members are gone now. Those media members are the same ones that used to take up for them who are now asking him tough questions. It's funny how media operates. Come on, Ben, be the change you want to see in the game.
Yeah, Penny is just he's ridiculous. Is what he is, and it's just one thing after another with him. I mean, for years now, ever since he has gotten that job, it's been one thing after another. Whether it be his incident with Rick Barnes in the initial meeting, whether it be his comments after Rick beat him that first year, whether it be this year where you had the whole vaccination and COVID debacle. I mean, he's had a lot of drama with just Tennessee itself, and then these type of things have been happening for 3 years, even outside of the Tennessee debacle, with his own media, with his own fans, with all the other comments that he has said. This isn't AAU basketball, bro. This isn't where you just compile a bunch of talent and you show up, you roll the ball out there, and they just out-athlete everybody. This is not how that works. and you can't say whatever you want to anybody or about anything. You can't roll like that. It's just one thing after another. And quite frankly, he's turning into a disgrace for Memphis basketball.
So today's touchdown turnover, Ben, I'll ask you this, man. I think I can see him lasting this season and going into next season. So I'm going to make this about next season. So I think he finishes this season, and next season, I don't think he may finish. So I'm going to ask you this, man. Does Penny Hardaway make it past the 2022-2023 basketball season?
I say turnover. I say he does not. I think he is done after this year. I think he completely gets out of coaching.
So you think after this year's gone?
Yes.
So do you think this is his last year?
Yes. I think he just says, screw it. I don't need to coach. Why am I doing this in the first place? I don't need all this drama in my life. I'm done. Because something's got to change for Memphis. I mean, this is ridiculous. And he's going to get a longer leash, just like Jim Harbaugh did at Michigan. So maybe he wants to stick it out until he can actually make the NCAA tournament for once. But, I mean, Josh Pastner made 4 tournaments in 7 years.
Tubby Smith was better.
Yes. And Penny has yet to make the tournament, and this is his 4th year, right? So maybe he gets a longer leash, but I just don't see it turning around. I mean, there are issues all throughout that situation. Like, yes, he is getting a bunch of talent to Memphis, but the talent can't stand him when they get there. They don't play together as a team. They're not developed. They're not put in positions to succeed. And that's just from a basketball fit that it's not working. And then, I mean, he's not afraid to throw a player under the bus, James Wiseman, if it's not working out the way that he thinks that it should be working out. And there's just drama in the locker room. There's drama on the court. He calls out his veterans. He calls out his freshmen. He calls out his coaching staff. He calls out the media. He calls out the fans. There isn't anybody that he has not called out yet. So I think he just kind of says, you know what? I've had enough. I'm done. I don't need this. Maybe he goes back to AAU, but I just think he just kind of says, I'm done with it. I've had enough, and completely gets out of coaching. And it would be the best thing for Memphis, quite frankly.
I grew up watching Rasheed Wallace play the game of basketball. And when Wallace was hired to be assistant coach at Memphis, I told myself then I knew it wasn't going to work. I knew it wasn't going to work. Because Rasheed Wallace ain't going to hold back how he feels. And he's working with a coach that he probably knows that he can coach better than. And Memphis had to come out via Penny Hardaway and announce that Rasheed Wallace is more in a consultant role, that he's working remotely and he's not going to be on the bench. He cited that over the past few weeks that Wallace's absence is due to health and safety protocols related to COVID-19. If anybody followed Tennessee-Memphis and that game being canceled, nobody's going to believe Penny Hardaway in this situation. Sorry. Don't believe you, man.
Well, he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt in any situation. He is a immature child, is what he has been acting like the last 3 years. That is not how you carry yourself as an adult, the way that he has conducted himself the last couple of years.
I'm gonna say I think he coaches this year, he coaches next year, and they give him a chance to resign. I think if you are Memphis, you don't fire one of your own. It's like when Tennessee, allowed Coach Fulmer to retire, air quotes.
And Holly Warlick parted ways, resigned.
Yeah, I think that's the way you do it if you're Memphis. If you're smart, that's how you do it. You don't fire your own. You gave him a chance on the strength of, his career as a player, what he did in the AAU game. You took a chance on him because of that. It's why Florida State probably should have did the same thing with Deion Sanders. But you don't fire him. You let him leave. And you try to handle this situation the best as possible. You don't want to create a situation where, like, Penny doesn't even want to ever return to Memphis University because you fired him after he embarrassed himself. Put your arms around him. Let him know he can't do it. But let him know you got his back. Let him resign. I think that takes place next year. Next year. You do it this year, it's too obvious. I think you do it next year. If Penny just can stop cussing out the media. All right,
it's unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievable. And Swain, I think he should be fired today because he's on the verge of committing murder. That's right. You heard me. He's on the verge of committing murder because 99-year-old Larry Brown is sitting on that bench, and I can only imagine the things that is going through Larry Brown's head while he's watching this basketball. I mean, it's got to be on the verge of giving him a stroke and him falling over on the bench from what Penny is putting him through this season. I mean, I would love to know what is going through Larry Brown's head as he sits on the bench and watches these games. I mean, it cannot be good. And at what point today does Penny come out and issue an apology? What time today? I'll say about 12:30 Central Time. Penny comes out with an apology.
Probably. You probably would. Let's go to the phones.
Got Daytona.
Daytona, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Daytona.
Good morning, team.
Hey, you guys get off of Penny's butt for a little while. Penny, hey, too many questions being asked of Penny right now. Penny ain't worried about no questions until he gets his NIT bid. He don't play for the NCAA title.
All those Tennessee Tiger fans, Tennessee football fans, Memphis basketball fans. This is a tough day for you. This has been a tough couple weeks for you. It really has been.
Yeah, man, he's ruining his legacy. It's a shame. It's a shame. Couple quick things, and I know it's best interest that Tennessee, well, for that matter, any team disclose what their NIL deals are, and I understand that, and that's good. Nobody needs to know our business, etc. But to kind of help Mr. Swain with people having the perception of who some of these backers are, can we talk about that? Can we divulge that, or is that not good either? Like who's possibly are bigger corporate people that we have in this game, and of course Peyton's going to be one of the former athletes. But I think that might give people a sense of security in the fact of knowing, oh well, Pilot is big, or whoever. Is that something that we can talk about?
I'll tell you one name. Haslam's are helping. That's it.
Okay. And of course, we know Peyton's helping. So, okay. I was just wondering. I think that's what a lot of people have a problem with is I don't think they realize what kind of money there has stepped up to the plate.
Yep.
Could I be correct on that?
Yeah, I mean, Haslam's have always stepped up to the plate in terms of money. Where Haslam's have gotten in trouble is the selection of coaches. But the Haslams do more for this community than anybody. There would be a whole lot of nonprofit organizations out of business if it wasn't for the Haslams. So they have done some great things, but they have not done a great job of selecting coaches and handling that. But they still love Tennessee, and they're part of the solution right now.
Yeah, I think the Haslams would be the given that most people would expect on the corporate end of things, just like Peyton would on the athletic side of it.
They're one of out of a group. I'm telling you, there's a group. Okay. There's a group of boosters, donors, supporters that have always been here, and at times probably was not happy about the direction of the program and did not want to be bothered. But, and I said this on the program before, right now is probably one of the few times in the recent decade where you get all these guys that at one point were on different sides, that they're actually working together and have the same vision, understand that there's no possible way of doing this unless they do it together. And there's some older money, I'm sure, that are still fighting what the NIL is about, and maybe their belief level is not high as everyone else's, but they'll come along and it'll be just fine. But this narrative and notion that Tennessee is extremely behind in the NIL game, and that the boosters need to step up. You don't know what they've done. You don't know what they haven't done. All you know is that Isaiah Nayor decommitted, and folks automatically assume that it's because of money. Jahmyr Gibbs. Right. We didn't get Jahmyr Gibbs. You know why? Because Pruitt tried to stick him at DB, didn't want him as a running back. So he wasn't coming to Tennessee no way. And then you lost on Jared Verse to Florida State. Well, if Tennessee was losing because of money, then Jared Verse would have went to Georgia, Alabama. He would have went to somewhere where he was getting a bigger bag. But that wasn't the case either. Right.
Well, it's good to see that, the big donors and the former Vols, it's been for a long time that nobody wanted to be in the same stadium together at one time, much less the same sideline. And that's what we need. We need them on the same sideline.
Yeah. Peyton's not the only prominent foreign player. He's always been someone to help, so that's not earth-shattering that Dave Tolan said his name. But there's other prominent foreign players that are helping Spire, who are fans just like you and I. But
Jackson?
They have the resources, the relationships, the credibility to go get meetings with top-level donors and share the vision. Because you and I can't get on the phone and call up a meeting with the top booster in Chattanooga or the top donor in Atlanta. But Spire has that ability because they're getting help. Tennessee is putting together. We got resources, guys. We got some people that love Tennessee, whether it's musicians, maybe it's people in the entertainment, sports world. We have resources. We got people, and it's about pulling us all together to get it done. But go off on social media without any information about what we're not doing, because Isaiah Nayor decided to go home. Like, come on. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're gonna keep getting what you've been getting. And at some point, we gotta break the cycle. Stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe every time something doesn't go Tennessee's way. It's not the end of the world. It's
banana in the tailpipe. That's a good one.
It's not the end of the world. It doesn't require a meltdown. It doesn't require, every little thing doesn't require a meltdown. It doesn't. There's a time and place for meltdowns. This is not one of them. Swain Event.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain Event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the MN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com. When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
In this day and age, the way we work is changing and evolving. Businesses still moving forward despite your work location changing and supply shortages affecting a number of different areas. Office furniture is not immune to the halt in the supply chain. This is why Office Furniture Outfitters has purchased desks, chairs, and tables in bulk to provide you with in-stock options for your place of business, no matter if it's in an office building or at your house. Office Furniture Outfitters is the local supplier for Herman Miller, and they keep Aeron chairs in stock. They will come to your office, lay out, and make recommendations. No project is too big or too small. You can visit them on location at 17th Street and Grand Avenue in the Fort Sanders area, or online at ofonox.com, or give them a call at 865-524-3003. Office Furniture Outfitters, providing East Tennessee's biggest selection and best value for office furniture since 1995.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. It is Friday. It is hour 2 here, which is brought to you by Action 247, Tennessee's only legal sports book. Right now, use the promo code Swain Event for 100% match on your first deposit. That is up to $800. $800. And man, I had a nice week with my games. Hope to have a nice night tonight and a nice weekend with NFL playoffs. Today's promotion. It's about table tennis. Table tennis. That's it. Ping pong promo. Bet $8.14 on table tennis today, and you'll get another $18.14 to use. That is right. Table tennis. Please send Action 247 your winning ping pong bet slips on social media, so that way they can celebrate with you. Their Twitter handle is at TN Action 247. TN Action 247. And then tomorrow, you know it's about NFL playoffs. And we'll get to that here as we continue our number 2. But now we have around the SEC. Ben, never a dull moment either. What you got?
Nope. Have plenty of news and nuggets from yesterday. We'll start with some baseball news because there was a big development in the baseball world yesterday as Arkansas baseball received some pretty crushing news. Their projected Friday night starter, their best starter, right-hander Peyton Pallette, he's going to miss this season with a UCL injury that will require Tommy John surgery. Again, their projected Friday night starter, and that's a Friday night starter on a team that is ranked number 2 to start the season. So big college baseball news there in the SEC. I also want to go up to Lexington, where Coach Cal is going to be facing an interesting dilemma. I don't know how closely folks have been keeping up with a young man named Shaden Sharp, but he is formerly ESPN's number 1 prospect in the 2022 high school class.
He playing?
And he graduated early and reclassified and arrived at Kentucky a couple of weeks ago. And now, after enrolling at Kentucky, he's now eligible for the 2022 NBA draft, and he is considered a potential top 5 pick. He plays point guard, and Kentucky already has some big time point guards with Severe Wheeler, the Georgia transfer, Ty Washington. They've got some other guys that can run point as well, but Coach Cal hasn't played Shaden Sharp yet. This is essentially Jarnell Stokes, but Jarnell Stokes is probably going to declare for the draft at the end of his 2 months of being on campus. So Coach Cal, who was not playing Shaden Sharp, now has to probably play him. So that was the big basketball news from yesterday. Elsewhere, Florida had an interesting storyline as linebacker Tyron Hooper entered the portal at 5 o'clock, a former 4-star recruit, 65 tackles this past season. Again, entered the transfer portal at 5 o'clock, and then an hour later, he withdrew his name from the portal.
So we have seen this multiple times in the SEC.
Yes.
We have seen players enter the portal and then take their name out within hours. I mentioned this in hour number 1. The portal, along with the NIL, that is unregulated, is a freaking headache. It is a hodgepodge of manure. It really is for college coaches. But what you have to do is you have to bite your lip, buckle up, and you got to play. You got to play like everybody else until there's going to be some type of legislation. That's the only thing you can do. Because if you don't do anything, then you really get left behind. But you have to weather the storm. Weather the storm until there's some type of rules. There's some type of regulation. Something. But Let's use our common sense here.
Common sense? What is that?
Let's use our common sense to see what's going on.
For sure. Want to hit up Auburn and Alabama real quick before we move on because they've had some nuggets this week. Auburn, we talked about Alabama hiring a former Auburn player to its staff yesterday, hiring T-Rob. Auburn is expected to hire ex-Florida linebackers coach Christian Robinson as an assistant coach. Robinson, a former Georgia starting linebacker, and served as Florida's interim defensive coordinator over the final 4 games of the season. So Auburn making sure that it hires its own former player from a rival there at Georgia. And Auburn lost out on a significant player this week, J.J. Pagaeus, who is an Oxford, Mississippi native, played tight end, played defensive line. He's a big old boy, 6'3", 308 pounds. He announced that he is transferring to Ole Miss. And I mentioned the Florida player entering and coming out of the portal all within a couple of hours. Alabama had a similar situation, maybe not as quick of a removal from the transfer portal, but Alabama linebacker Jalen Moody, who entered his name in the portal earlier this week. We talked about him either late last week or earlier this week. We mentioned him. He's a pretty solid player. He is expected to remove his name from the portal, and he's one of a couple of Alabama players who made decisions on their future this week. Evan Neal, who could potentially be the number 1 overall pick in the draft this year, offensive tackle, definitely going to be a top 5 pick. He announced that he is going to forego his senior season and declare for the NFL draft. And Fedarian Mathis, the second best defensive lineman for Alabama this season behind Will Anderson, a top 10 player at his position. He also announced that he is turning pro. Kendall Randolph, a tight end, can slide down and play offensive line as well for Alabama. He is going to return for a super season in Tuscaloosa. And then Christian Harris, a junior linebacker, he declared for the draft. Henry To'o, his running mate, Christian Harris, who played in every game over the last 3 seasons and has been a starter since he was a true freshman, had 12 and a half tackles for a loss this season, 5.5 sacks. He is off to the NFL as well. So a lot going on in the SEC. And the last thing I'll leave you with, Swain, Missouri is expected to hire Blake Baker as its new safeties coach, according to Pete Thamel. He coached LSU's linebackers last year and is the former DC at Miami and Louisiana Tech. So Eli Drinkwitz making an interesting hire there.
We'll go to the phones, but first, SEC basketball schedule for tomorrow. Kentucky at Auburn. That's a 1 p.m. Eastern game.
And appointment television.
Oh, for sure. It's on CBS. I'd rather it be on ESPN, but it's on CBS. Vanderbilt, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, Tennessee. It will be the second ranked matchup inside of the SEC. There's only 2, and Tennessee is one of them. Mizzou, Alabama, A&M versus Arkansas. So there's going to be some great matchups tomorrow. Everyone's playing tomorrow. It's going to be a good day for SEC basketball. Let's go to the phones. Irish Networks hotline. Who is our special caller today?
Turkey Man.
Turkey Man, good morning.
Good morning, individuals. I hope you guys have a great weekend.
That's the plan.
Good show. I was listening to you driving up the road. I was going to ask you there, is former 6-star quarterback Leroy Budstaff, has he made the portal yet?
Not yet. He's happy where he is.
Okay. He's going to stay put.
Stay put.
I heard that. Hey, you're talking about beaches in South Carolina. Years ago, Caleb was young. I loaded the family up. We headed down to the Charleston Beach in South Carolina and get my orange and white basketball shorts and my cheer and my umbrella all got at Walmart. I'm sitting out there putting my coconut oil on, and I'm telling you what, there was sharks everywhere. I don't think you'd ever seen that much white meat since Thanksgiving. But anyhow, it was so bad that Michaela was playing on the beach there, and two of them was coming at her. So there was a lot of sharks and beaches in South Carolina. I know that, or I just drawed a lot.
They were there to see you. They saw your white meat there on the beach.
They hadn't seen that much, and then that coconut oil started getting hot.
Your coconut oil probably attracted them.
That was attracting, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, guys, have a good one. God bless you. Talk to you later.
I'm going to the text box. Probably a good thing to do. Real D from the 423 says, I thought Ben was about to say Billy Baker from All-American being hired at Missouri. It looked like they had Billy Baker coordinating the defense from All-American this past year at Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Cashville Vol says, he said, use common sense talking to our fan base. LO, laughing my A off. Yeah, don't think that will ever happen. Yeah, I'm not. Today's goal is not to throw our fan base under the bus and talk down to them. But today is a day that we ask and expect for us to grow and learn and be better. Like, you want different results, but we keep doing the same stuff. Like the over exaggeration, the hysteria. It doesn't help. It doesn't help a situation that's already tough as it is to deal with. It doesn't help. And you would say, oh, no one cares about my one little comment. But when there's a ton of them, and the same thing is being said on radio by folks, and the same thing is being tweeted by people that y'all think are credible but are not, who don't know what they're talking about, then it snowballs, and it's not just one or two or three people. Then you get categorized and put into one group by someone on the outside looking in, and then you complain about a small group being categorized. Like, at some point, we gotta look in the mirror and go, guys, like, is this really worth scorching the earth for? That's a narrative and a theory that's not even proven? You didn't know before how much money the boosters was given. You didn't know detailed information before. Because that stuff is not public. So because Tennessee is not bringing in 5, 6, 7 guys, people have created this story in their mind that's because of NIL and folks ain't paying up. We can have $100 million in the NIL pot. We can't sign dudes right now. You can't. Not a bunch of them. You can't. Not right now. We will be in a few months after the spring semester. Hour 2, powered by Action 247. TN Action 247 on Twitter. Give them a follow. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, broadcasting live here from the Low T Center studio. Stay with us.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain Event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the NN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com. When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Going to the text box. Coy Macon says Justin is one of the best listeners calls I've heard in my 4 years of listening to the show. I for real thought I missed an actual analyst or reporter being introduced. Great call. 90s Vol says Spire is a very innovative approach to the NIL. It actually makes it better for the boosters because it's set up as a 501c, so donations are to a nonprofit. It also allows anyone to donate, so literally every fan can contribute. There you go, 90s Vol. There you go, 90s Vol. Remember how, like, doing coaching searches, and I 100% agree with fans here in thinking this, became so frustrated because I felt like the only people that had their voice heard, only people that could actually help to do anything were people with big checks, and they were ruining things because they was making bad hires. And you felt hopeless. Because you felt like you needed to have 6 figures, 7 figures to be able to have a voice, make a contribution. That's no longer the case. We look at ourselves as the best fan base in America. And I'm not here to sit here and tell you that it's right or wrong. I so happen to think we are one of the best. I don't think there's a way that you can really measure the best fan base. But I do think we are one of the best fan bases in America. And I think when it's time to step up and do what's right, we do it in numbers. When it's time to show our displeasure, we do it in numbers, and sometimes it's overboard. Sometimes it's not. I'm not going to sit here and pump this whole Vol Twitter is undefeated thing, because there are times when we are wrong. But there are also times when we are right and we positively impact people's lives. We are impactful, whether it's good or bad. And one of our best strengths is one of our greatest weaknesses, and it is our pride and our passion. When you know that about yourselves, you try to create more situations, more scenarios to where you're using that passion for good and for positive. And Josh Heupel and his staff this year, they brought out the best in this fan base's passion. They did. Tony Vitello brought out the best, and this baseball team brought out the best in this fan base's passion. But Jerm Pruitt and the way they coached those guys, the play that we saw on the football field, brought out the worst. Because we're not going to sit on our hands and not say anything. Passion is not a switch you turn off and on. We can't just turn it off when bad things happen and turn it on when good things happen. No one is asking our fan base to do that. It would be stupid to ask anybody to do that. What you do is you focus on making sure that you give this passionate group more things to be happy and proud of. So, I may have heard of some plans with Spire that will be able to include everybody. And we'll be able to win with strength in numbers. And what Spire has a chance to do with all of us working together is do something that I promise you other programs will try to duplicate. And they probably will. But we'll be the trendsetter. I have not gotten permission to say anything about it. I mean, I've just asked because it's not my deal. I know what they're doing. I see the vision. But there's a time and a place, and I look forward to that promotion being put out there, or new plans being put out there that's going to include everybody, and what we're going to be able to accomplish together. And boy, oh boy, it is going to be massive if we pull it off. It's going to be really cool, man. Really cool. It'll be beautiful like checker kneeling. It will be. It'll be like a Picasso masterpiece. It really will be. It's going to be fun, too. Tennessee's not sitting back and watching other teams win in the NIL game. That's not happening. Tennessee is being smart. Tennessee is fortunate to have dudes like Spire. Very fortunate. There's a lot of schools running around with chicken with the head cut off. Hour 3 coming up.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work-from-anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design. Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the NN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over. If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. irisnetworksusa.com.
Will Wade and the LSU Tigers tomorrow at 6 p.m. And I don't know what type of mood Will Wade's going to be in, because usually babies get a little sleepy. They get a little cranky around 6 p.m. It might be nap time for big baby Will Wade. And if he's cranky, we may see some antics on the sideline. We may see him stomping. We may actually see him get on the ground on his back and kick his legs and feet like a real toddler. We may see that. We may actually see that. And if we do, Ben, you're going to be at the game. How about you bring a baby bag? You're about to be a father.
Go ahead and practice.
You might as well go ahead and practice.
Yeah, I'm not going to feed Will Wade, because Will Wade is the most unlikable coach in America. College basketball, college football, college baseball, any Division I sport, Will Wade is the least liked coach in America. I mean, do you know how just annoying you have to be disliked more than Penny Hardaway? I mean, Penny Hardaway is doing all of his shenanigans over on the west side of the state right now, and people still like or dislike Will Wade more than Penny. People would rather listen to Penny than Will Wade. You know how annoying you have to be for people to like Penny Hardaway more than you?
So, Ben, when you at the game, man, I want you to bring a baby back. We're gonna go by Baby or Target. You probably should put that in your registry. A bottle warmer, a portable bottle warmer. These are the ones that you can plug up in your car with a cigarette lighter. You can plug it up, and you can warm the milk on the way. This is what you need to do. I'll go with you, Ben. I'll help you pick it out.
Nice.
We'll go to Target after the show, or Bye Baby. Babies R Us. I don't think they're still open. But we'll get one of those portable bottle warmers. We will warm some milk for Will Wade. So when he starts acting like a baby, having his little hissy fit, having his meltdown like a toddler, we'll give him his bottle, man. And he'll be fine. And then he'll go back to sleep, he'll take a little nap, and be just fine. But Will Wade, his antics this game, Tennessee tomorrow night, and it's a night game. I mean, you would hate for Tennessee fans to chant mean things at him and the crowd to be rowdy and say mean things to him about the FBI.
Well, I heard the FBI was going to show up.
I mean, you would hate for the crowd to remind Will Wade that the FBI is on the way and possibly in the building. You would hate to see that and hear that. I don't know if I want to hear that during the television broadcast. I would hate to hear that. Don't want to hear it.
And his basketball team is just as annoying as he is. Like Sharif O'Neal, quit pretending to be your dad. You're not. It's time to hang it up. Go be like Jackson Mahomes and just be a TikTok star. You're not Shaq. You're Sharif. You do nothing. You run up and down the court, and you're supposed to be a big man, yet you look like a wing player. You look like a chicken wing. And Alex Fudge, I mean, the only use for you is Will Wade just says fudge a whole lot when you're in the game. Mwani Wilkinson, I mean, what kind of name is Mwani? I mean, when does the M go before a W? I mean, your name, your play on the court is as bad as your name is spelled.
Oh, man.
Darius Days, Xavier Pinson, I mean, Pinson, you leave Missouri and they finally win something of significance. Correlation, I think there's a strong correlation.
They finally beat a ranked team when Pinson leaves.
Exactly. Efton Reed, you're not even the best Reed in the family. Nas Reed is the best Reed in the family. You're just living off of your brother's name.
Oh, man.
That's all you are. Tari Eason, you're a wannabe.
Pretty good.
You're a wannabe.
Hey, man, Ben, did you know that?
How are you from LA and you go to Cincinnati off the bat? From LA and you go to Cincinnati?
Oh, man. Ben McKee.
Yes, sir.
Did you know that there are over 100 pieces of litter on our beautiful Tennessee roadways at any given time? Did you also know that cigarette butts are considered litter and can leach toxic and chemicals into our environment and contaminate our water? Did you know that, Ben?
I did.
You did know that? How did you know that? Because of the last trash talking segment when I shared these facts with you?
That's right.
Did you also know?
And I don't like it when people trash Tennessee.
I don't like it either, man. Did you know that litter on the roadways can make its way into the waterways, destroying natural habitats and damaging water quality in Tennessee, rivers and streams? Did you know that? The Tennessee River is one of our most prized possessions right here in our beautiful state. Let's not litter. I was driving yesterday, Ben, and it was me and my kids, and there was already a piece of litter on the road, and this car drove over it, and I thought the litter came out of their car. So I was like, did they throw that piece of trash out the window? So I had drove up a little bit on them to see if the window was open, see if it was them, but it wasn't. See, T-Dog got me seriously about this non-littering life.
the neighborhood police roll up.
I was about to roll up. Bloop, bloop. I pull him over. Hey, pick that litter up. Pick it up. You can do something about the littering problem by joining the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com. Please, please, let's keep Tennessee beautiful like it is. Let's keep it beautiful. Let's continue to hold ourselves accountable, have some discipline, throw our trash in the trash can. When you get gas, when you get home, just take it out. Don't be lazy.
But if we are trying to keep Tennessee beautiful, doesn't that mean we should keep Will Wade out of the state of Tennessee? Because he is one of the ugliest people I have ever laid eyes on. I mean, have you ever watched him run up and down the sideline? It's like his upper body doesn't move correctly with his lower body. It's like just a big stack of jello trying to run up and down the sideline and yell at the referees. It's like everything's jiggling all over the place. One leg's going the way it's not supposed to. One arm's flailing one way it's not supposed to. You ever notice that? I mean, he looks like a human version of Flubber. I mean, that's what he looks like. So if we're trying to keep Tennessee beautiful, why are we allowing Will Wade's ugly behind in the state of Tennessee?
I guess we have to stomach that, man, just for the purposes of this basketball game. Hour 3 continues after this.
Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys in the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work-from-anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the NN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes, remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy. Attaboy is brought to you by Made in Tennessee Business Fiber Internet from Iris Networks. Find business solutions for you at irisnetworksusa.com.
All right, it's time for Attaboy here in the program, highlighting positivity, giving folks a nice slap on the backside, and congratulating them on a nice play. And this is a nice play by Justin Wilcox, who has signed an extension through the 2027 season with the Cal Golden Bears. Justin Wilcox, former Tennessee defensive coordinator. When he was here, you saw that he had a head coaching position in his future. Well, he has done a good job there at Cal to where he has gotten himself an extension. Now, the record, not all that hot, but hey, the overall record, but he did take over a mess, and they've had 2 back-to-back winning seasons, and they've won and been able to win and get to bowl games a couple times, which is the first time in the last decade. So Justin Wilcox getting an extension with the Cal Golden Bears. Of course, I'm giving him that attaboy because there's a little bit of Tennessee connection there. There's a Tennessee tie. He was the defense coordinator here under Derek Dooley. Hey, Dooley. 865-255-03.
Poor guy. What do you think Jeremy Pruitt is going to be doing next year? He and Dooley, what do you think they'll be doing next year since they're currently out of a job?
Well, Dooley will be fine. Dooley will be fine. Dooley has friends in the NFL. Dooley is charismatic. Hey, he's
Dooley.
funny, and he has a last name. Pruitt
does have a last name. Pruitt has a last name.
Yeah, but I don't know if Dale gonna be able to hook him up with jobs in the NFL. Because that's the only place where Jeremy Pruitt will be able to coach. It won't be in college. And
Daddy, I'm just so sorry. I'm a major failure.
I'm pretty sure he'll find some way, some Alabama connection that he'll be able to take advantage of, and he'll land on his feet somewhere in the NFL.
I hope not.
Yeah. Well, man, guys like that, man, they rarely just go away and disappear. So he'll find his way.
I hope he goes back to teaching kindergarten.
PE?
Whatever.
Fort Payne?
Yeah. Last thing that this world needs.
Yeah, he'll
him teaching the youth.
Yeah, he'll survive. Daddy Nick Saban will take care of him. Put him somewhere. It'll happen. 865-255-03 is our telephone number. Hour 3 is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's health care. $155 a month for self-pay for at-home monitored self-inject testosterone treatments. Either these are just $155 a month if you want to pay out of your pocket, or it's covered by most health insurance. So if you are feeling tired, you're feeling grumpy, you have a loss of muscle mass, guys, these can all be signs of low testosterone levels. This can be signs of a low thyroid or even sleep apnea. So get that taken care of, get that looked at. Low T Center can determine the cause and can help. Their initial appointment is really, really quick. It's really easy. It's really simple. You get in there, fill out a little bit of paperwork, get your levels, and then boom, plans put in place for you to feel like you again. The Low T Center, let them help. They can. There's multiple locations in this great state of Tennessee. Tri-Cities, Chattanooga, Nashville, right here in Knoxville. And their number to their Knoxville location is 865-392-1388. We've got about 30 minutes left in the show. Let me get to this text box, because I know y'all been blowing it up. I want to make sure that we recognize the interaction and the engagement. So I'm gonna get over here to YouTube as well, and check out YouTube. Get y'all loved up on as well. Get that pulled up here. But text box. John K said, Will Wade and Matt Jones have the same body type. Swain and the kids finna make a citizen's arrest.
Look like a can of biscuits.
VFL 99 says, cry me a river chant when he gets mad at a call. I like that too. That'd be
Cry
hilarious.
me a river.
That'd be funny too.
You like Justin Timberlake's music?
Yep.
Do you really, or are you just saying that?
I do like Justin Timberlake's music.
Good, you better. He's a true Tennessean.
Very, very talented. I like Justin Timberlake. I really do.
Justin Timberlake likes you.
Okay. Cool. Bill Wade needs to wear a Butch Jones girdle. Oh my gosh. Kenny B says the Kai reminds me of a young Shabazz Napier, tough as nails, not afraid to ruffle some feathers, plays with an attitude, not afraid of anything. Think he has the potential and attitude to be that dude as Barnes continues to develop his shot. Yes. Jonathan Wade is on the YouTube chat. I see you, Wade.
Why don't you call in, Jay Wade, and hang out with us?
Yeah, he like messaging from the shadows. He ain't trying to step into the light.
Who are you, Ja Morant? Only Ja Morant can be from the dark, Jay Wade.
Jeffrey Dean says, on one hand, Spire is cool. On the other, I feel like people outside Tennessee needs to see big money companies at Tennessee support NIL more openly, not just not how great it looks from the outside. Tennessee, that the fans have to carry NIL, at least right now, is how it looks. There's players currently on our football team that have signed six-figure deals. There are players who are coming in that will have huge deals. Huge deals. And it's not because of money that fans have donated. Spire has went around the Southeast building a pot before the fans were even brought into the equation. So we can all sit back and let the Haslam's and the Charlie Andersons of the world give their piece and see how it works out. Or, for the first time in history, now that we are allowed to, it's set up because of the great work done by Spire. It's set up to where now we all can participate. The fans are not carrying NIL. This just opened up for fans to be able to be involved. We just had a recruiting class that finished strong. Do you think we had a recruiting class that finished strong because they like the Smoky Mountains?
Yes.
Like, there was a feeling going into National Signing Day, early signing day, that was different than the feeling at the end of early signing day. Do you think we had this strong finish because people like the color orange? And
Yes.
It's a different shade of orange in Auburn, and Oklahoma State, and Syracuse, and Oregon State, and Clemson. There's a reason why Tennessee finished strong in recruiting. It's because of NIL. And the opportunities here. And NIL was a big player, not because of relying on fans carrying the NIL. So, like, we gotta flip our mindset here. We have to flip our mindset here. Do we want to complain and not do anything? And try to tell millionaires what to do with their money? Or do you want to do what you can? Because everyone has their own limits. Ben McKee, you can't do what Haslam can do. Justin from Florida can't do what maybe Thunder Thornton can do. But everyone can do something if you want to. If you don't, then that's your choice. But the groundwork has been laid out so that way if you want to, you can. And there's not a lot of schools that have people like Spire that have done this. So again, we got to change our mindset. Y'all think because it's not posted on the message board of how much money that this donor donated and how much money this donor donated, we think that there's no money in the pot. We have players currently that got six-figure deals. We have guys coming in, that recruiting class that finished so strong that Justin Williams, one of the best running backs in the country, that 4-star running back that Tennessee was able to get, go look at his Twitter and how he said, with the picture of him and Spire, that Spire is legit. Why do you think he's so happy with Spire? He loves Spire.
They're nice people.
They're nice people. But why do you think Justin Williams loves Spire?
Because they're nice people.
That's probably the only reason, right, Ben?
Yeah.
So, like, I remember when, I would get my all campaign came out, and folks was like offended. Offended. What you offended for? Why you mad? Danny White's crew ain't got nothing to do with what happened in the last 10 years. And I know you've been asked for money and the product's not what you want it to be. But to get the product where we want it to be, it's going to take more money. Like, there's not a scenario where you're like, especially in SEC football, there's never a scenario, and it's damn sure not one now, where you're like, all right, well, when we win, then we should all give money. And I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I'm just telling you some facts. You're already behind in the facility department, where some of us still living in 1998 and think that we have the best facilities in the SEC, and we do not. We're middle of the road football-wise in the SEC. And it's hard for us to believe that because we see Neyland Stadium. We remember when Former was a coach and still had hair. And we think that our facilities are better than what it really is. We've been passed up. So whether you win or you don't win, the facility's got to be upgraded. Because now you really won't win. To even have a chance, you have to do these things. Just like off-season conditioning. Without it, you have no chance of competing in the SEC. You have no chance of winning if you're not conditioned, if you're not strong. Doing it only gives you a chance. Because on top of that, you have to coach. You have to execute. You have to stay healthy. Those are all things that help you win. But conditioning only gives you a chance. Having the facilities that's on par with some of our competitors gives you a chance. And we're hurting our own chances if we don't upgrade the facilities. So don't feel appalled. Don't feel, disrespected that folks ask you for money. If you don't got it, you don't got it. You gotta get mad. If you don't got it, you don't got it. That's cool. You don't got it. You don't want to do anything with it. Cool, that's fine. But don't be getting mad, spouting off at the mouth. It takes money to build buildings. It takes money to win at the NIL. And so the same things people complained about during the coaching search was, why does these guys are the only ones that make an impact and make decisions? And now we all have skin in the game. We all have opportunity to be part of the solution. Whether it's $5, $10, $15, $20. Cool. You don't want to go to the games because the tickets are a lot, and the hotels and the gas and the food, all that equals $2,000-$3,000. Cool. We'll give a little $100 to the NIL pot if you want to. But to say that NIL, the Tennessee's running, is relying on fans, it's not true. We're not relying on normal fans. What we can do is take our greatest strength, which is our numbers and our passion, and use it to benefit us. That's what you're trying to do. Don't look at it as, oh man, we ain't doing nothing. Look at them. They need us because they don't have any money. That's not true. Tennessee has always had money. Even when Tennessee was low on reserves and didn't have money, they went out and fired coaches and paid buyouts. We've always found ways to get the money. We've led the country in buyouts. We got money. I question who some people listen to. Who's on the phone?
Terry.
Back, Terry.
Yeah.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
You doing all right?
Good morning, Terry. How you doing, man?
Yeah. Hey, when you gonna start playing around with us and take the show to 4 hours? What do we have to do as fans to get to go to 4 hours?
4 hours?
Yeah, man. You give us so much information, man. You need to go to 4 hours.
Man, I don't know about 4 hours. Whew.
That's only a half of a day's work, man.
Yeah, if you look at it that way, it's not that bad, right?
That's right.
Today we could do it. Today we could.
I mean, you could do it every day. I mean, what do us fans have to do to get you to go to 4 hours? I mean, do we need to start giving $5?
No, man. Y'all do enough to support me. I appreciate all the support. No, you don't have to do anything like that at all, man. How about we just do 3 hours really, really, really well, and stick to 15 hours a week of pure talking.
But 15 hours is not even, half a 40-hour work week.
Hey, man, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, trust me.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate you. Man, you do a great job, and I would really love to hear you go to 4 hours.
Well, maybe one day, man. During football season, you add all the shows that I do, it's actually more than 4 hours. It's just not 4 hours of a Swain event.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, man. Next time I come through South Pittsburgh, just say, hey, go Vols.
Hey, thank you, Terry. Appreciate it, man. Ben, you'll probably rolled through South Pittsburgh before me.
Yep.
Say go Vols and pick up some fireworks while you're at it. Support Charlie Anderson. Right? Vol Grizz Cubs says Jimmy Brumbaugh going to Auburn as a D-line coach. We'll see. Good luck with that, Auburn. 90s Vol. Ooh, he's on it. If count these zeros, 300 fans donate $100, that's $30 million. That's what Texas A&M did. Look at their class. Damn, 90s Vol, you and Justin on it today, huh? It don't have to be that much. Let's say that you take the stadium attendance of Neyland Stadium, 104.55, and everyone did $20. That's over $20 million. What if you had 200 fans that did $20? What we can do. We can do that, or we can, complain about stuff that's not true. Like we have an opportunity to do something that not a lot of other fan bases can do. Who's pulling off Checker Neyland the way Tennessee fans can do? If we can pull off Checker Neyland, we can change the NIL game. 100,000 people, 200,000 people doing $10 to $20. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's not like we can't be successful without that, because Tennessee has already been successful without that. So don't sit here and think that there's zero in the pot, and to survive, it's going to take the fans to do it. No. But if you want to set yourself apart and be one of the top 4 or 5 in the entire country, this is what we can do. Now other fan bases can say they can do that. Now other fan bases have a setup that Spire has set up. They don't have that. They don't have that at all. Until there's regulation, it may be 2 years, maybe 3 years. It may be next year, who knows? But until you get that regulation, this is what you have to do. And A&M said, let's go. Got Georgia uncomfortable. Got Alabama uncomfortable. And they have been winning in recruiting the last decade. And now they're uncomfortable. Why? Because they know that there's a lot of other schools that can do what A&M can do. Ben, you said that. Now, can they do more than A&M? I don't know. That's oil money. They got a lot of fans too. So, got 20 minutes left in the show. I think it's very, very important that as we leave today and we go about our separate lives and we go through the weekend, that we understand the clear points of today's show. Number one, Isaiah Nayor picked Texas because it's close to home, not because of Tennessee's lack of NIL deal. Number two, Tennessee is not behind in NIL, where we're losing kids and can't get kids. You can't get kids right now because of the numbers. It has nothing to do with NIL. It's the numbers that have hamstrung us because of Jeremy Pruitt. And after spring semester, Tennessee will be big players in the transfer portal. If they're good players that can help Tennessee be better. 865-255-03. Stay with us.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design. Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the NN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. The new year is here and it's the 2022 East Tennessee real estate season. As I always do, I'm going to shoot straight with you. If you have a home to sell, then you need to give me a call ASAP. Inventory is low and I will get you the most money possible and more than you think trying to sell it on your own. If you are a seller that also needs to buy a home, you need to call me ASAP. as there are ways I can help you manage that situation and stay in your home until we find what you want. If you are looking to buy, you need to call me ASAP. You absolutely need someone on your side to help navigate the current waters, and you need someone that's going to do their homework and find homes that aren't on the market yet. Bottom line, you need to call me today ASAP. Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897. If you are buying, selling, or considering investing in real estate this year, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. I hope to hear from you soon, and go Vols!
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
This is why I love, the interaction. This is why I love, the text box and the chat on YouTube is because you get pushback. You get pushback and questions, and you can clear them up. Undying Voice says it's the story changing for me. We had both Jared Verse and Nayor not work out, but now there's no room. So you didn't have both of those guys committed. You were going after Jared Verse. It did not happen. You went after Nayor. You got the commitment. My exact words were, you're not getting players from the transfer portal like Carolina and some of these other schools that have gotten 5, 6 players. Arkansas has got multiple players. Carolina has got multiple players. And I said, this is where FOMO comes into play, fear of missing out, because you're seeing other schools getting multiple players. We just had one player committed, and Isaiah Nayor. We brought in one other player who is currently on the roster who is practicing at offensive tackle, Mincy from Florida. But with Nayor and Mincy, that's 2. That's 2. You can do that, even with numbers tight, because you know that more than likely after the spring, there's going to be 2 guys that transfer. What you can't do is you can't go sign 6, 7 guys from the portal right now, because you don't know for a fact how many guys are leaving. And if you don't have the number that you need that are going to leave on their own, you might have to encourage them to go somewhere else because they're not going to play here. So the room was always an issue even before Nayor or Verse made their decision. It's why it's just Nayor and Verse and not 5 or 6 or 7 other people. So ask those questions. If I can answer them, cool, I will. If I can't, I can't. But under Dying Voice, no one's trying to pull wool over your eyes. No one's trying to make excuses. These are the facts. For the 2020-2021 season, there's a number of scholarships that Tennessee is going to operate with. And they're going to satisfy what they told the NCAA they're going to do with scholarship reductions. And Tennessee is doing it right now, and Tennessee will be in the clear as soon as this semester will end. That's what's going on, man. Or lady. Because lady could be Undying Voice or guy. All right. Vala Birmingham says, when I say even playing field, I say for other teams to play right along with Alabama and Georgia. Our fan base as a whole can give millions upon millions to the NIL because no one regulates together like us. I don't want regulations. I want free market, even the playing field. I don't know if the playing field will ever be like truly even, but this is maybe the closest that we can get to that, Vala Birmingham. Now, honestly, do I really care about even the playing field? No, as long as Tennessee is hitting home runs. That's all I care about, the playing field. Do I care about the small schools? Does anyone here, by the raise of your hand, care about Wyoming losing their best player?
No.
Like, no one cares about those schools. Because it sucks really for those schools more than anybody else. The schools that had Jared Verse, the schools that had Isaiah Nayor, the school that had, Gibbs, Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, Georgia Tech found a gym. He blew up and was like, "Nah, man, I'm too good for y'all." It sucks for those schools. But do I really care? No, I just care about Tennessee success. So the playing field truly won't be even, but Tennessee has a chance here to swing a lot of favor in our way. So early in the show, I talked about losing Isaiah Nayor and the possible replacement for Isaiah Nayor. Never got to it. That is Bru McCoy, baby. That is the potential replacement that can be added to this roster. But there's some things that have to happen. There's a connection between Bru McCoy and several of our current players and one of our former players in Velus Jones. So you got Velus Jones, you got Chase McGrath, you have Caleb Tremblay. These guys came from Southern California. So they're talking to Bru McCoy. Hey, man, Knoxville's where it's at. I love Tennessee. You need to be at Tennessee. Man, they'll take care of you. Man, I caught 70 balls. This is a perfect place for you. And Tennessee has a great chance to get Bru McCoy. But Bru McCoy has a little bit of a hurdle. Bru McCoy was accused of a domestic violence. He was accused in a domestic violence incident where he was exonerated by a lot of folks that went up against the young lady's accusations. He will not be getting in trouble, it looks like. But the case is still open. Well, I don't know if people remember, but a couple of years ago, the NCAA changed the rule to where, like, if you have any type of domestic violence accusations or case, you can't transfer. That school can't take that particular player until the case is closed and the player is proven to be innocent. Well, that case has not been closed at USC for Bru McCoy. And as soon as that is closed for Bru McCoy, then he should have no problem being able to go to his new home. And there's a really good feeling that Tennessee could be his new home. So, is he a good receiver? Yes, he's a good receiver. Is he the same type of receiver as Isaiah Nayor? No, he's a little different. He's a little bit bigger. Probably more like Tillman. Isaiah Nayor can run a little bit better than Tillman, faster. But Bru McCoy, former 5-star receiver, obviously there's talent there. For those that take that with a lot of weight, his ranking coming out of high school, the talent is there. He's 6'3", around 215, so he's a little bit bigger than Isaiah Nayor, but he's in a good spot with Tennessee, from what I hear. Downtown Vol says, I'll pass on Bru McCoy then. Why? Why would you pass on Bru McCoy? If he was accused of something that was not accurate, you passing on AJ Johnson too? If you're accused, you're guilty? If you're accused, you shouldn't be taken? That don't make any sense. Downtown Vol, that don't make any sense to me. Now, if he was proven guilty, then yes, I will pass on anybody. I don't want anybody in our program that engages in any type of domestic violence with females. I don't want that at all. But that's not the case here. So I don't know why you would pass on him, unless you don't think he's a good player. Now, PR-wise, people without the information without the facts probably would. USA Today. There's a couple writers on USA Today that no matter what the conclusion will be at USC, whether he is proven innocent or not, boy, they'll turn it into, why would any school take a guy that was accused of domestic violence even though he was innocent? Mm-hmm. You're going to see that. But you have to be true to what you believe in and the information that you gathered and the conversations that you had with the young player and the young man or young women or whoever, and go forward in the decision. So he hasn't been arrested. He hasn't been proven guilty, anything. So we of all fan bases should know that just because someone accuses a player of something doesn't necessarily mean it's true. A.J. Johnson stuff didn't happen not too long ago. So if you get afraid just because of accusation, then woof. Man. These players better not leave the house. They better not even have relations with, anybody else. Or try to. Because you open the door to someone getting mad and jealous and going off and accusing you of doing something that you didn't do. Remember the accusations towards Aaron Beasley? It was terrible, right? Mm-hmm. You a pet owner. I'm a pet owner. The accusations, man, I was ready to, all right, Beasley, peace, see ya. We don't need that PR. But after they gathered the information and realized that the young lady wasn't being truthful, are you supposed to kick off Aaron Beasley? No. Same thing applies here. I don't even know why I'm going that far. It really should be simple. You got Jermaine Burton that's in the transfer portal. I'm not holding my breath out for that one because his position coach left Georgia to go to LSU. And when we talked about JT Daniels potentially entering the portal, Ben, before he entered the portal, I felt like one of the best destinations for him would be Texas A&M or LSU. We'll see what happens now that a former, Georgia assistant coach is now going to LSU. If I'm at LSU, JT Daniels and Burton will be a package deal. I'm dropping a huge bag with NIL perks in it to get those two. That changes the game. And that would change, in my opinion, 100% about going to Baton Rouge in Brian Kelly's first season. Cashman Vol says, with Nayor flipping, are we still able to add one more this semester, or is it one out? Is it a one out to add one? We can play with the numbers slightly, but you can't get out of hand and go out and sign 5-6 dudes in the portal right now because you don't know who's leaving, who's deciding to come, in the spring. But you can go out and get one or two. You definitely can go out and get a guy like Bru McCoy and a Isaiah Nayor first, which we've seen Tennessee try to do. But the sky's not falling because you lost out on Isaiah Nayor. And I reiterate this again, said it a couple days ago. Hopefully it's not taken out of context on the message board, which I'm sure it will be. But there's players all around the country who are looking to go to other schools before they get into the portal. This is why we have seen on multiple occasions inside this conference, players into the portal and then get out within hours. You don't think they've already been talking to schools or had someone talk to schools for them indirectly? So relax. Relax. Save the outrage for a situation that truly deserves it. Nayor flipping to Texas is not worthy of an outrage. It's not worthy of creating false narratives. It's not. And it's not worthy of believing them. Use your brain. The kid committed to Tennessee without even taking a visit. And on the front end said he wanted to go closer to home. I wonder what would sway his initial plan to a school that was 12 and a half hours away. Must be the access to Sevierville, Gatlinburg, Dollywood. Must be that. Ben McKee, man. Got a big game tomorrow. You're going to be there covering it, giving us all the inside nuggets for a Monday show. Hope everyone is safe and healthy and gets back to being the best you possible if you are sick. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain, the Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Peace and love. We are out.